This video is brought to you by Squarespace. All right, welcome back, everyone. It is time once again to look at some awesome viewer work. These are some zines and books, and by people like you, we're going to go ahead and get started. This is from Étienne Racine. This is a beautiful piece. This is done in a newsprint format, and Étienne enclosed a note which reads, "Hello, Ted. This journal contains photographs of the images that I pasted on the walls of the city of Arles between 2019 and 2023. Pasting in public space allowed me to make my work known and aroused real enthusiasm during the Rencontres, a 50-year-old and quite famous French photography festival. In the street, the images take on an intense second life, altered by the irregularities of the walls, the weather, and the interventions of passerbys. The photographs can have a particular charm. The newspaper medium, through its paper and format, resonates with the posters. Thank you, Ted, for your inspiring work. Best wishes, Étienne." So, by the way, the title here translates into Torn Arles, which I think is great. I love everything about this. I love the title. I love the images. I love the fact that Étienne is taking images, pasting them up, they become public art, and then he's photographing them and then making a zine out of it. I think the newspaper format is absolutely perfect for this. I love the sense of color that goes on in here, the design, the layout. This is absolutely incredible. And for those of you who don't know, Arles in France has a wonderful, very famous photography festival that they do every year. They've done it, as he mentioned, for 50 years. And in fact, this year when it was going on, my uncle happened to be in Arles at the same time, and he was texting me all the time. He's not even a photographer, and he said it's just really, it takes over the city, and it's something that's really neat. I would like to go one day. I think that should be on my bucket list. But anyway, back to your project, Étienne. This is absolutely amazing. I love everything about this. I think the newspaper format really speaks well towards this. I love the fact that you're zooming in and you're getting in tight and you're getting a lot of those textures that come out. It's just really, really well produced. This is another one of my favorites here. The weathering is part of the whole thing, the people passing by and the fact that these images kind of start to get torn up pretty quick. This is just fabulous. The size is appropriate. Everything about this is good. And so, Étienne, I have nothing to critique on here. You guys should get a copy of this, and I'm going to link up to Étienne and everyone else in the show description below, so make sure you support your colleagues. This is outstanding, my man. Oh, and while we're on the subject, people ask me quite often, Ted, when are you going to do another zine workshop? Well, we have one scheduled. October 26th is when this one starts. I will put a link in the show description. You can find out all the details if you want to take the class. This is online. You can be anywhere in the world. The way it works is we get on Zoom. We meet once a week for 4 weeks, and you're going to have assignments. The whole idea is that you are going to make a zine during our time together. I've done this a couple times now. I absolutely love it. Seeing the student work that comes out of this is so good. I've shared a lot of that in these videos. You've probably seen some of it. It really is a very cool and special experience. And the way that we work is it's assignment based. And so we'll meet once a week, and you guys will have a week to complete another section of your project, the zine that you're going to produce, and then we'll bring it back. And the third week, we actually take a week off from the main class, and then I break everybody down into small groups. And so you're going to get some one-on-one time with me and some feedback directly about what's working, maybe some things that could be worked on, and people come out of this with really exciting projects. And it's something that I absolutely love. So anyway, check that out. I'll put it in the show description, but it is online. You can be anywhere in the world and take it, and we'd love to have you there. So check it out. All right, so next up is this very beautifully produced book that comes to us from Spencer Sanderson. This is called Typographic Photography, a photo book by Spencer Sanderson. Spencer also enclosed a note which reads, "Hi Ted, I am sending you a copy of my first photo book, Typographic Photography Volume 1, which is a 64-page collection of analog images centered around typography or graphic elements and compositions. Due to some confusion with the printer, I was told to use the wrong color profile and the images appear slightly less saturated than they should be and are lacking some contrast. But despite that, I hope you'll still be able to appreciate their concepts, compositions, and the way the photos work together in the layout. Hope you enjoy and look forward to hearing your feedback. Cheers, Spencer." Okay, Spencer, the golden rule at the Art of Photography here is that we don't apologize for our work. Now, I do understand, and I've been there, where something goes wrong at the printer and it does not come out exactly like you thought it would look. I wouldn't worry about it, honestly, because I don't know what these images look like normally, and they don't feel desaturated to me. It kind of has an analog vibe to it, and I really don't see it's a problem. And if you hadn't mentioned that, I probably wouldn't have noticed anything. More importantly, let's talk about your work in the book. This is very beautifully done. I absolutely love it. I love the stitch binding on here, if you guys can see that. The way this is done is it's actually stitched with thread together, and it's just held together with the 2 cardboard covers. It's very cool and very beautiful. I will make an admission to you. I was a little skeptical when I pulled this out of the packaging because typography and graphic elements are very difficult to work with. Allow me to explain. So my point of reference is really my own approach to work as well as work that I've seen. And the problem that I have with using typography and graphical elements as the main focus of the photography is, and hear me out on this, is that when it's a language that you understand, it colors your perception of what's going on in the photo, and it's easy to get gimmicky with that really quick. Having said that though, Spencer, you have changed my mind of how this can be approached and how it can be done. First of all, it's not overdone. That's something that I love. You're mixing in the graphic elements with other images, and that I love this too, that you have a sense of dialogue on each spread of how each image relates to the next one. And it lifts it from being gimmicky. It lifts it from being just kind of too obvious. I really, really like this. I think it's absolutely outstanding. I like your sense of color on here. I know you didn't intend for it to be faded out, but it kind of works actually with this book, especially when you have just, you know, kind of the organic cardboard cover. I love the way that you've embossed the type in there. This is really nice. I really don't have any criticism of this at all, other than I'm really excited that you were able to change my mind of the way that I kind of looked at a specific type of subject matter. Also, I dig the little subtle references in here. The 431 is on page 43. So it's not too obvious, but it's in the ballpark. But this is really cool. I really love the work in here, and you know, I love it when somebody sends something in that challenges my perceptions of stuff. This does it. So check out Spencer's work. I will put a link to his website below. Check it out. Folks, we are on a roll today. I have a couple more that I want to share with you. These are really awesome. But real quick, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor this week, who are the awesome folks over at Squarespace. How easy is it to build an amazing website in a matter of minutes? Squarespace has you covered. It's dead simple. Head over to Squarespace, hit Get Started. You can start by selecting from an impressive collection of customizable templates, or you can do what I do, build your own. Something unique because, you know, you're not like other websites. Give your site a name. Next, you can build your homepage. We'll start with a few preset layouts just to get us going. Want to sell products like books or prints? Well, you can feature those on your homepage. Create a few more sections if you want. Let's also give it a color palette. There's a whole bunch to choose from, and just get us started. We can change this all later. Next, let's select the typography choices. Welcome to your website. Everything is set up and it's all ready for you to customize. Squarespace is built on Fluid Engine, the next generation of website design. Select Edit, and Fluid Engine allows you to drag, place, and resize any element on the page. You can snap these to a grid, you can make them float on top of one another, you can freeform however you like. You can even preview and adjust how the site looks on either desktop or mobile. The layouts are independent. Of course, you'll want a portfolio for your work. Creating an image gallery is as easy as dropping a folder of images on your web browser. Once uploaded, you can drag to resort, customize the look, and Squarespace writes all of the code for you. Everything just works and it looks fabulous. Want to sell your own prints, books, or zines? Squarespace has the capabilities to not only set up your online store and collect payments, but they also give you all the tools that you're going to need to be successful. Managing shipping and payment options, manage your orders, and engage with your customers. They even give you the tax tools that you need to keep things organized and stay compliant. You should try Squarespace for yourself. It's absolutely free, no credit card required. Just go to squarespace.com/AOP, sign up for that free trial. If you decide Squarespace is right for you, I can save you an additional 10% on your order by using offer code AOP on checkout. That's right, the code is AOP. So stop procrastinating, go build your website today. And I want to give a special shout out and thanks to Squarespace for sponsoring this video. All right, so next up, I've got two little pieces that I want to share that come to us from Germany. These are from Markus Kirchhofer. Markus included a note which reads, "Dear Ted, I am a fan of your channel for a long time, and it has been a great source of inspiration. I'm sending you two things. First of all, a little zine that I made recently. It's about a vintage race weekend at a racetrack here in Germany. That was completely new to me, as I'm not into motorsport at all, but it was nice to see the dedication of the people to preserve these old pre-war racing cars. To enhance the vintage vibe, I shot this little series on black and white film and developed it in Rodinal to create a little more grain. I'm curious to know what you think. The second item is a leporello about a trip to Istanbul from last year. I tried to capture the melancholy feeling that I experienced during that trip. All the best and keep going. Greetings from Cologne, Markus." All right, so Markus, you've got a really nice range to what you're working on here. This piece is color, and I don't know if this is a metallic ink or how you did this, but it's really beautiful. Very nice work. I do want to talk a little bit about your zine, though, on auto racing. This is one of my favorite things. things. I absolutely love it. I think that you've got a really interesting start here. You mentioned that this was new to you, and I think it's something that maybe you should revisit. I would highly encourage that. You've got an interesting compositional sense. Developing your film in Rodinal certainly creates a vibe to that. I'd almost like to see some of these in color as well. But anyway, there's a lot of potential here, and I would just suggest that you keep going. This is really nicely done. I'm kind of a sucker for vintage cars, so it's something that I'm kind of drawn to anyway. But anyway, man, nice work. I think there's a lot you can do with like maybe slower shutter speeds, getting motion blur. Just explore this and see where it goes. But anyway, thanks for sharing. I will link it up in the show description below. All right, so next up are two little zines that come to us from a gentleman named Matt Adam, and there's no note in here, but these are both called Unwrap and Steel. I did go to Matt's website, and he seems to do a lot of street type art, and that's reflected in these. A lot of black and white and color images mixed together. I love the strong day-glow colors that he's used on the cover of both of these. I did go to his website, and yeah, there's a lot of interesting stuff that he's got going on in terms of art projects, so you might want to take a look at that. Other than that, I don't have a note, so I really can't go off of much, and I don't know what these are about. But I do like the aesthetic. It's kind of interesting. It reminds me sort of a macro version of Daido Moriyama or something, but it's very gritty, very in your face, and very interesting. So, Matt, thank you for sending. I appreciate it. All right, so I want to thank everyone who sent stuff in today, and remember, I will link stuff below, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them there as well. I will see you guys in the next video. Until then, later.